Alright. Wow, wow. Modern multiplayer cast masterpiece. What the fuck? Sekarang tanggal 21, what? Tumbaman. Kalau masih main. Ame. Yopat ayo yopat. Saksa boxing meeting. Gua punya Y ya. Y gak punya Y. Insania. Ini adalah Aster. Insania gua gak punya yang lain. Snaking Gojira. Crit. Fly. Ada bagus ya. Oh wait, what? Gak nge-lag kan? Nggak nge-lag lah. Kita nungguin ini ya, Tundra Vs Og. Paling segame doang gua. Mulai jam berapa sih? Perempat final jam Jam 9 nonton yang mana lah. Ntar yang main kan Crit sempet main ya, nonton Crit aja.
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Kenapa Crit? ini mouse-ku double.
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
ini wow siluman. Wah lo banget. Desolator.
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Miras. Minus defender. Ini ya laku banget ini sih. Wow. Gua nggak mati.
There's one to sing songs about.
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 하부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 다이어 하부 병력이 공격받고 있습니다. 생성됩니다.
Red.
다이어의 중부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Disengin anjing.
다이어의 중부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 다이어의 요새가 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 요새가 공격받고
Omron
있습니다.
White. Omron
레디언트가 승리했습니다.
Sebenernya mouse gue tuh udah enak cuy. Gue cuman mau biar nggak rusak lagi aja switchnya anjir. Mouse ini tuh enak banget. Untuk beberapa mouse akan dikenakan tambahan biaya servis yang besarnya 25-50 per mouse. Biaya tambahan ini dikenakan karena beberapa faktor, bongkaran, faktor resiko pekerjaan baik dan harga. Logitech G102 tidak ada biaya tambahan. Dan Logitech G903 ini biaya tambahan yang cukup mahal itu. What? Spesifikasi micro switch Omron White merupakan Omron standar, cukup kliki dan mempunyai umur 10 juta klik. Wano Blue 20 juta klik, dan untuk tektalnya mirip dengan Omron. Aku pengen ganti kiri kanan cuy biar imbang gitu kan. Tapi mahal bro. Sudah menang Crit. Gimana sih lu Crit? Lah kok 0-0? Lah main lagi nih. Buset. Secretnya mau pakai tai nih anjir. Lab. Krik tuh nonton krik.
영웅을 선택할 차례입니다. 5초 남았습니다.
원소술사
영생화. Amron White. Coba gue mau cari jenis switch. Oh gitu, naik G102. Nah ini kapan ya? It's in the bag.
준비하십시오.
Spesifikasi dan rincian.
승리도 죽음처럼 확실하군. 이건 다 이긴 게임이야.
(30초) 후 전투가 시작됩니다.
BTW itu AG gara BTW itu what the fuck. Farewell AG. Gak ada farewellnya, gue dilupain gitu aja. What the hell.
전투가 시작됩니다.
Gila, warning person DB. Anjir. Oh, War Meeting yang semalam itu yang gue tonton ya. Nggak ada ininya. Spesifikasi. Spesifikasi. Udah mulai belum sih? S7 got post too often. Di PC udah mulai belum? Belum cuy. Wih. Apa ini?
First blood. 선취점 겨우 시작일 뿐이다.
Omron D2 FC. Di 2FC F7N.
다이어의 짐꾼이 죽었습니다.
Kalau gua upgrade ke atasnya berapa?
돈까지 주는군. 알라리 무뎌질까?
Wano Blue.
죽음은 내 영역이지.
Killing spree!
Geblek.
어림없어.
Wormy pakai apa Wormy?
넌 여기까지.
Oh ini. Ending.
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Endingnya di mana cuy? Di top. SF-nya? Oh. Nova plus 4 clone, anjir toxic banget. Nice. Waduh, langsung rata cuy. Wah, nggak bisa tercounter, berat itu. Wano Blue ya. Rom Razor juga menarik sih. Yoman. Wih, tembus.
다이어의 상부
Wow, gue baru tahu
공격받고
selalu situ.
있습니다. 레디언트의
안녕.
짐꾼이 죽었습니다.
Jebret.
태가 일그러지는구나.
2-0. Aduh. Mantus dikeluarin lagi. Mati lagi krit. Sembur.
레디언트의
Nice.
구조물이 강화되었습니다. 다이어의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Pulang, krit pulang. Oh, minta sniper coy.
안 돼.
Yongsing Hwa.
다이어의 짐꾼이 죽었습니다.
생화.
Ngeng. Matilah itu invoker. Om Nina tuh cuman pajangan. Halo guys. Tapi di sini. Anjir. Mandi mah bisa nanti mandi. Tundra Oge sebentar lagi mulai, Cok. Berapa sih mulai? Babi. Udah mulai kah? Belum nih. Lama kali ini pasti iklan-iklannya banyak. Nanti pasti kamu di kantor kan?
레디언트의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Wormy. Buset. Sampai beli ginian. Berapa sih dia make race? Level 3. Wow. 230. Waduh. Dikeroyok masa. Dor.
Killing spree.
Sniper. Oh.
Killing spree.
Waduh. Waduh.
Dominating.
Waduh.
Double kill.
Udah crit mending tidur dah.
다이어의 중부
Ngantuk.
포탑이 공격받고
Tengkyu.
있습니다. 다이어의 중부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
난 이 돈을 받을 자격이 있지.
Balance amat ini game. Bang. War.
Radiant are
Omninat,
scanning.
Omninat. Ngeong. Wah. Coba darah kurang banyak. Oh ini, level di Grace. Masih stringnya. Legion Aura cuy, Legion Aura tuh udah nggak ada sekarang. Ada deh. Uncharted. Tinggalin Oni Knight-nya.
Mega kill.
Nice. Wahyu lo mati. Monsternya.
다이어의
Tuker.
상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 레디언트의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
내 주원이
Terus bawah terpus.
다이어의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Buset. Lens of Pursuit.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고
Vladimir.
있습니다.
Aku warnanya support ya.
레디언트의
뭐
중부
이게?
포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 상부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Vladimir, gua nggak pernah main Enigma pakai Vladimir. Waduh, ngeong. Maju terus. Buar. Ya, mundur. Tinggalin baranya. Ya udah.
열리는구나.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고
Tuker
있습니다.
sama carry, tapi dia ngorbanin Black Hole cuy.
대체 뭐람?
Bentar, Black Hole sekarang damage nggak pure? Atau dari dulu? Dari dulu deng. Gue kayak Midnight Pulse yang pure. 5% darah. Black hole deals additional damage equivalent to 3,5% of the unit's max health per second and doesn't interrupting pull towards it in
다이어의 하부
additional
포탑이
sound
공격받고
impulse
있습니다.
at a rate of 75. Raid pack. Oke, raid pack. Ternyata dia support banget bos, banget. Tinggal ada dagger bro. Mau initiate-nya gimana? Ini lagi nunggu orderan Gojek. Anjing. Udah mulai belum sih? Oke. Woi. Mulai ya? Berapa ya sekarang? 9 lu. Waduh.
피할 수 없구나.
Wehehehe.
레디언트의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
60 detik.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Waduh,
레디언트의
enakan.
구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Cepet banget ya. Oh, MOM.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
SF ini lagi sering ya. Shadowfin gains an extra soul per kill. Shadowfin can consume a soul per attack to deal critical damage and fear the target.
다이어의 상부 포탑을 공격받고 있습니다. 레디언트의 구조물이
Jadi skill
강화되었습니다.
aktif gitu.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Damage on return 40%, heal on return 5%, cooldown 10,
돈까지 주는
10, max soul.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
친일적으로 받아주지.
4, 28
다이어의 상부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
10 dari mana di sini?
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고
Wih,
있습니다.
lagi war kah? Enggak.
레디언트의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 레디언트의 하부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 루션이 레디언트의
와우.
영웅에게 죽었습니다.
Oh iya, jadi mereka punya
레디언트의
jungle,
하부 포탑이
jungle dyer.
공격받고 있습니다.
Jadi kalau mau crossan deket tower tuker sama ini immortal. Ngapain lagi cek.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이
siapa sih?
공격받고 있습니다.
Oh, crit.
레디언트의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 레디언트의 구조물이 강화되었습니다. 탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Ngeris kemana anjir? Cukup ya item dong. Shadow Blade. Us. Spare. Teman-temannya mana nih? gila. Cek duluan aja. Wah bingung daripada. Ini juga nih. AFK aja. Padahal troll tuh early jago cuy.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Waduh. Udah Black Hole bagus tuh. Ada BKB aja. Waduh, gila sakitnya. Dar. Trollnya nggak guna cuk. Lamaan farmingnya. No, Maelstrom. AFK. Lo Discord.
한 건가? 고맙게 받아주지.
Luar cuy. Kapan? Woi. Mulai nih gue liat.
잘 쓰겠다.
Masih ngobrol bro.
Radiant are scanning.
Bismillah.
레디언트의 질군이 죽었습니다.
Killing spree.
다른 스키풍과 잘 어울리겠구나.
Dire are scanning.
Udah mulai nih. Live.
My keyboard is not working.
Russian, Spanish, English.
Yeah, this first phase is actually ridiculous. These bans, like, if you looked at it from any other series, you would have felt like they random all the bans. But these teams specifically just don't care about meta. They're just a hoodwink first phase ban, a TA, there's a bottom. It's crazy.
These two are two teams who definitely have been trying to set their own meta, especially in the first phase. I mean, the two most contested or prioritized supports for these two teams is the Crystal Maiden for Tundra and Oracle for OG. Yeah. Like, is anybody else playing these heroes? Is anybody else playing Oracle in this tournament? Probably not, right? And it sets up for a really weird phase. And now we're seeing Piranha come out. You know, something about Tundra yesterday, AUI was in the chat. He said that Snake King got that Crimson Mirana drop.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
I said, oh, we're going to
Tundra lawan OG.
Lo and behold, first Mirana out for Tundra. Not a hero they have played a huge amount this tournament. And honestly, it can be a weird hero for them because I like to think of Tundra as this
turn to
five-man
bad.
ball team behind 33's hero, right? Yeah. 33's on an initiator like a Doom or something like that. They play that way, but generally he's on a Brood, a Visage, a Beast, a Lycan. Yeah. Heroes that Mirana can be weird with because you lack the stunts. It kind of falls to 9 to pick up something like an OD or a Tiny from mid.
10초 남았습니다.
Maybe they're flexing his Tiny to mid.
So for another team, there would be a lot of flexibility here. Like
5초
Secret, they would have the
남았습니다.
possibility of running like an offlane Mirana, right, for resolution. But it sounds like to me, Avery and Quinn, you're saying that like it's probably not likely just because it's not really a 33 hero, right?
I mean, I think it is possible it's actually a pot of mid. There were several pubs that 9 had played the pot of mid. I imagine they scrim with it some as well. I think that is sort of this 9 here. He buys, you know, some glip clop.
Yeah.
You know, he shoots some arrows. I think that's something 9 could pull out. I think this 8 pick is really interesting. Whenever a draft goes weird like this, their 8 pick becomes much less about like you've structured everything and more about like reading the situation, like what do your players feel, like what makes sense in sort of hero combinations. And they pick
Nah, sini aja. Apa di sini? Bodoh. Di lock nggak sih? Nah, sini aja.
It's a pretty interesting dynamic. I mean, OG is a team who doesn't typically buy these ring back because Umur is generally more of a carry type player, so they'll end up with a lot of lineups that just have like, you know, 5 heroes with spells, and nobody is, you know, there's not this like defensive sort of ball lineup, whereas Tundra I think is a team that will check all the boxes by 1 drum, 1 veil, 1 wraith pack, we go to 1 AC, we go down the line and we have all the items and we sort of play in this ball and play very
10초
structured.
남았습니다.
We hit the guy that's closest to us, we don't like, you know, move too far out. I mean,
honestly, I
5초
feel like this opener
남았습니다.
is a
5초
very
남았습니다.
anti-Tundra opener in saying we're going to let a lot of that zoo through. Like, they're not banning Visage, they're not banning Beast, they're not banning these heroes that can up the tempo, push the towers, ball up. They already have Maiden and Ember who can go a Maelstrom build, give you extra AoE, push the lanes out quickly. Crystal Maiden drafts in general, you get the extra mana, a lot more nukage on the map. You're going to stall that lane push into the objective taking.
Buset.
Does Tundra really want to go
Ada dua cuy.
Beast type heroes second phase for 33? They're leaving the Brood as well, which is something we saw first phase ban versus Tundra a lot of this group stage. And when they got it, I mean, 33 is an absolute monster on that hero, right? Yeah. So OG is fully aware of what they're leaving in the pool right now, and they have to be thinking. I think the only real Amar answers to that huge summon.
Ember CM. BZM cuman Ember ya?
yeah, I mean, you see Timbersaw and the Pangolier ban, which are, you know,
Ember
two
carry
of the
atau
biggest
Ember?
anti-zoo.
5초
Ember
남았습니다.
carry atau
OG is
Ember
pretty
mid
cool.
lane?
It's something you maybe have to take against Tundra. Like when a team has all these
Tiny.
random scary
Mirana nih
picks,
Saksa
like,
nih.
you know, most meta teams do. There's all this random zoo and
Tiny
all
udah
this
pasti
crap,
support.
and if you just sort of leave it all and you have
Sekarang Tiny
responses,
carry udah nggak
like
guna
Avery
cuy.
said, you structure the beginning of your draft to be like, you know, very very sound against it. I think that's a pretty good way to play against them because you don't have to worry about all this. I think they typically stay straight on the road, follow the traffic lines, you know. We're buying that
10초
ring
남았습니다.
whether you like it or not.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
AUI is definitely a lot
5초
by
남았습니다.
that's for certain.
Most certainly.
I'm trying to think of what OG wants in the second phase, because these bans, again, we're talking about they don't have to ban the zoo. They're opting to ban Ursa, Lifestealer. These are like very specific carry matchups. It's also perhaps targeting Skeeter's hero pool, because he has paid a pretty small hero pool this tournament. And we're talking about, you know, Lifestealer, the Ursa, the Naga. The Naga especially, OG has to be thinking about it. Again, this opener is another opener that's great against the Naga down the road. Like, they're already blocking a lot of these big heroes that Tundra wants, which might be why we're seeing this Mirana come out earlier. Maybe Tundra is going to be the one to swerve and just say, we're just going to take the fight to you. I
Esports,
think they still want this Wraith Pact hero for 33.
Mars,
There's no Doom in the pool.
Night Hunter.
얼음 폭군.
Alright, that to me seems like a 9.
Night
Tusk.
Hunter, Time Stealer,
That's what
Ursa.
I'm feeling. If I see Tusk on Tundra, I feel like 9 is, he's going to click.
Oh,
it.
saksa Jangan lagi hot wing ya.
Even if he's not supposed to play, he's just going to
Cast mid nih.
So doesn't this lock down our heroes? Aren't we kind of set then this point in
10초
time that
남았습니다.
It does look like Neta is playing bottom.
yeah. So
Maybe. Or
5초 남았습니다. 5초 남았습니다.
You know, you wanted to bust
I mean,
it
okay,
out.
so if
Yeah, but
he's
mid-10
playing
line,
Marana, just 5 Marana, you think he make that work?
OG's turn to pick.
5 Marana is a very specific
Oracle, okay.
To be honest, I think this might
Why
be,
Oracle?
we talked
Why
about sort of the
Oracle?
lane nerdiness. I think this might have been something they considered in draft practice. I think whenever you
Buat
have two
ngejawab
teams that have
siapa?
such
Tas.
specific heroes like this, you can sort of pin down a lot of like like heroes people might like. They probably understand the CM very well.
10초
Like, they have some
남았습니다.
idea about having this kill potential on the CM in lane. They have toss back. They have this like avalanche
5초
into arrow. Like
남았습니다.
it's really scary for CM to play this lane. If she's playing against Pod and Tiny, like that's a terrifying lane. And potentially they're just trying to feed off this Misha CM and just sort of snowball things. Because Neta's a player who, if you give him a lot of gold, he can play any hero.
All right, Avery, you brought up this 4-position Oracle. Why are we doing this? What is the theory here?
Well, this could be a 4 Crystal Maiden. We don't know. I mean,
Okay,
it could
true,
be anything.
true. Yeah.
So one of the things about OG is they have 3 of the cores who get the most farmed all together of any team in the world. I think we're used to that by now. They're the ultimate tri-core team to some degree. 3 carries, unless you have a Marseille
Tundra
probably still
Esports
building carry,
turn
So one of the things OG
Sand
has to
King.
figure out in these well, there's the Sand King. One of the things OG has to figure out in some
Sand
of these metas
King,
is
CM, Oracle, Sand Kingnya offlane.
with stuns, how do you bounce with utility? And in some of their past tournaments we've seen, there's a reason Seb at Stockholm
Wah.
is playing Wind Rangers and Shakers. Give them
Tapi
the long
supportnya
range stuns
tipis-tipis
for the
ya.
damage to go in.
10초
There's a reason at this
남았습니다.
tournament their supports have been healers, double force
Jangan
fires,
Oracle
5초
mid nih.
남았습니다.
right? Like rush the utility to bring your tri-core online in those mid-game fights. Sand King or some of these utility heroes for Amar is another way to do that. And so to me, this OG draft is this is super anti-Tundra. Like we're not going to get too greedy. We're going to make sure we have the sustain, the lane shove, the AOE to take the early tower defense fights. I like this approach.
Yang
Like, this is a very
Senghua.
hard draft to skirmish into.
And I just want to point out, like, that means if it means Taiga has to take a step back, right?
Yes.
Like, in order to enable the rest of his cores, and that's kind of that's something that he has had to do for this team, both inside and outside of the game,
OG's
right? He has had
turn
to
to ban.
put himself more
Clark.
sacrificing. He's had to be more sacrificial in order to enable, all the new guys.
Yeah, I think that's a role that he's definitely slid into. You see in the past, he plays, Rubik every game, plays Enigma every game, and I think more recently, you're seeing Oracle, you're seeing, these
Tergantung
random
last picknya nih.
like every
Tasnya
buying
bisa
four
di mana.
staffs, stuff like
10초
this.
Tasnya
남았습니다.
bisa jadi
I
offlane
think this
juga.
Lark pick is very cute. I think
Atau
it sort
timingnya
of goes back a
oke.
bit to
5초
Tundra being
남았습니다.
a super laning team. I think you have this Lark +1.
3
If you
pick
play the Raven
terdepan
really
tuh
well,
masih
the Sand
ini
can
cuy,
be very
fleksibel.
vulnerable, and if things start getting out of control, this
Nah,
Lark
OG
hero
ini nih.
is running around at night.
Entah kenapa dia
I
punya
think
3
while OG
support
does have a
cuy.
lot of like sort of defensive capabilities, the heroes also
Kalau
are very similar in terms of the
Sand
way
King
they
tuh
deal
gue
damage.
bilangnya
There's a lot of
support.
magic damage.
Nggak tahu
It's
kenapa.
sort of very
Tundra
static. It doesn't
Esports
scale
turn
very
to
hard.
ban.
So if you fall a little bit behind, suddenly your heroes aren't able to
OG's
connect
turn
to.
to
Berarti
ban.
OG tuh tinggal mid or
nighttime diffusing people, burning your
carry.
mana. Like things can get kind of
Mid
scary
or
in terms of
carry.
the way OG deals damage.
I mean, OG's going to need a big
Mati
physical
soalnya.
hero here. This is something where 9 will go blink Deso and just
5초 남았습니다.
destroy these back.
Yeah, he'll
You're gonna
one-shot you.
one-shot these heroes, right? There is no armor on this OG side right now until we're talking third item Shivas on Ember or something way down the road.
Tundra
So,
Esports
I'm a
turn to
little
ban.
worried about
Tundra
how people defend
Esports
against the
turn to
physical that
ban.
come out here. If it's a core Marana, right, you can go early. Diffuser,
Berarti
you can
kalau
just go
Tundra
into the
ban,
Falcon Blade, Manta, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
OG's
Okay.
Marana
turn
these days,
to
who knows,
pick.
right?
Berarti
But you have the tag
Tundra
team to
last
buff it up. And this Tusk pick
kita lihat
seems really good right now. This is a hero that annihilates these squishy backliners. They
mid
don't put
or
this frontline
carry.
against it.
Mid or carry.
I don't know if there's a frontliner OG can get to help solve this problem from the carry role. Yuragi
Tundra
can play some of these,
Esports
like
turn
these Lone Druid type
Morphling.
heroes.
Morphling aja bisa mid or carry.
You can go in and tank a bunch.
Iya benar,
Gives
mid
you
or
the
carry.
offer here.
Yeah, it also shifts some dynamics in that. You
Jadi
can just add
tergantung
some point
musuhnya
and you go from having all these backliners to
terakhir
all of a
nih pick
sudden
apa.
a fish of your own who's jumping all over the place, and
Itu akan
you get more
menentukan
vision
Morphling
this.
atau Ember Spirit
A lot of
carry-nya.
damage, a lot of that scary
Or
kill
mid-nya.
threat some of these backline heroes. Maybe you have this, Morphling suddenly who's
5초
just leaping around
남았습니다.
like a crazy person. It's hard for Tusk
Sand
to go
King
on
berarti
some
offlane.
space for Oracle and CM to play.
Oracle
some
CM
space for
berarti
Sand King to go for
support.
stuns. It opens things up a little bit.
There's OD though.
There is the Decorator.
Tundra loves this OD as a Morphling counter. They have picked it every time. You rush that, you go Midas into Ags. 9 has annihilated the games on this hero. I feel like this is a snap OD pick for Tundra here. They get a save for the Sand King initiation. You get Astrals for this Oracle long-term fight. You can do very well versus the Ember mid. This is a matchup that people historically liked. I think it should be fine now with the Astral and the Orb buffs.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't ban it. They opted for the Beast Enigma bans. I can understand those. That lane can be terrifying for Morphling.
It's
at
going
the
to be
same
a
time.
real big test. How much do they like elevate 33 in his pick and style? They
영웅을
stick with
선택할 수
what
있습니다.
33 is best.
영웅을 찾으신 가시수다. Amar beneran offlane. Skitter 33, berarti offlane-nya Visage. Bener kan midnya tas? Saksa, oh berarti Saksa Tiny, Making Mirana, BZM, Yuragi. Berarti Ember mid, Morphling carry, Taiga 4, Nisha 5. Oke, tebakan gue benar.
And sustain from OG side, and Morphling doesn't punish this hero too hard on lane. I feel like you can get out of it a lot of times, and I mean it's Tundra. It wouldn't be Tundra without a Wraith Pack fire, and you know, Wraith Pack fire, AC.
All memes
10초
aside, it's a
남았습니다.
really good
Yang
Wraith Pack, and they didn't have
berarti
somebody to play
Yuragi
yet,
bakal
and
ngelawan
you need to buy the
33.
item.
5초
Like,
남았습니다.
it's a really good item right now. I
I mean,
think
just look at the Ember Spirit Sand King. It's like
Mas
I'm
Saksa.
salivating for a Wraith King.
Oh yeah, the Wraith Pack pipe is going to be deadly
Wah,
here
Crimson,
for a huge
saking
portion
punya.
of this game. Because again, their only real physical scaling is on this Morphling until we're talking about Ember super late game.
Sure.
The Wraith Pack pipe or Wraith Pack AC, which is the other build he's got on this Visage. It's gonna be hard to like contest the Roshan or the early towers once this Visage comes online. So I would say name of the game is try
Sekira
to slow
ayam.
them down on lanes as much as possible.
Yeah, that's what I was
Terus
gonna
yang
say.
mana
If
ya?
you're saying this
Yang
timing of
mana
like
ya?
Pipe Wraith Pact is deadly, and we also
Tinggi
identify
Sekira ayam.
Tundra as a big lane winning team, that feels like this could turn into a nasty snowball of a game.
yeah, I can definitely see this CM versus Visage dynamic going both ways. CM wants to spam you down, now suddenly Visage has a bazillion Soul Assumption stacks, and you get gone on and you just explode instantly. And suddenly, this Visage is getting 6 early, your Morphling's getting kicked out. I think OG needs to be really tight in this early game to not just like, oh, suddenly, oh, there's birds everywhere, and there's a, you know, Walrus Man, and you're just getting run over.
The deadly Walrus Man.
It's going to be all kinds of zoo here for Tundra with a walrus man, a fish, a bunch of birds, and even whatever Marana is riding. But our game number 1 of Tundra versus OG is about to get underway. Avery, we were talking before about some of the
Buset,
stories
sticker.
coming into this matchup.
Pikas.
And there is a pretty interesting matchup.
Time of first tower destruction
You
menurut
go back
pick.
10 years ago. Alright, that's a
Wah,
long
ini
time
cepet sih.
in Dota terms.
Tiny ada
An old
33.
team called Team
The Pieces.
Dignitas way back in the day. And you know that Team Dignitas?
Sekitar 8-10 menit.
Had another good
Penuh.
Patriot and Universe on it.
It's a
It
show.
had our good friend Fogged on it. Of
Apa dia bilang?
remember when I picked up Snake
Can we dim the light
Snaking
of
told me,
Bliss?
I feel like since those 10 years ago. No, it was 8 then, but you know, sure. Those 10 years ago.
What the hell?
All my friends I used to play with went on to do great things. AUI
Very
Universe
cute.
went on to win a TI. Yeah, that's all. Giga, Chad, Caster,
The light.
you know,
Can we dim the light
And I think back to
of
that story because
this?
to me this is the TI where Thinking is now leading a team. He is captain. He has grown over 10 years. Yep. And you know, Fogg's watching backstage. He's watching from literally behind him.
What's the worst that could happen?
Universe probably
It's gonna
watching
be
from home
fine.
from his
What's the
living room.
worst that could happen?
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
Bisa dimatiin dong lampunya. Alright.
up to the legacy that you guys set. in
Total
action.
number of blink daggers
Just bring
purchased
them
by
so
25.
you go to pass
Wait,
me
what?
to a degree. It's a
Di
bit
sini
of a
ada
Bible
tas,
story, you know, I'm not
ada
trying to-
tiny,
I mean, you're setting up because,
1,
if he
2,
does manage to
ada
beat OG
3.
here, I mean, he's already
3
achieved
kemungkinan
so much
3
in
orang
a
yang
long
pakai
time that
dagger ya.
OG is one of the scariest teams. to
Iya,
beat in a
3
matchup. You
sampai
can get
4.
that momentum, being able to beat them in the upper bracket. Who knows?
Karena
how far
tiny-nya
it's gonna go.
support.
That's a great story just because
Jadi kemungkinan cuma
Snaking,
2
from
aja.
everything that I've heard about
Nah
him,
pasti Amar
you know, he's
sama
gone through some teams and stuff,
Tasnya harus
and,
ngejar
I've heard that
Angganin.
he's like can be a little bit hard to work with. but one thing I've
Highest
never
amount of
heard
physical
is
damage
that
of
he
a
never lacks
hero
when it comes
will
to hard
do.
work. No, he is there day
In
in,
one
day
hit.
out.
This match
putting in
has
the
literally been
hours.
10 years in the making for him.
1000 plus.
Like, I mean that literally. This guy has grinded Dota for 10 years. And you're
Berarti
going
ini
up against a
hitungannya
team
ini ya,
that is
nuke.
in some ways brand new.
Nuke
Like,
fisikal
this is
paling
an
gede.
OG debut squad.
Fisikal
It's
ya.
kind of like experience and
Nggak ada cuy.
ownership that Snaking can
Kecuali
bring to his team
tiny-nya
versus this
bener-bener
fresh
jebret.
energy and idea creation
Berarti
and all
banget
that
ya
OG is
semua
known
1000
for
lah.
has destroyed
Player with
over
the highest
years.
net worth
To me, that
by
creates an
25.
interesting back dynamic to this game that is
By
like,
25
I'm
gue
very
rasa
excited to see how it
Yuragi.
pans out.
And on the other side, we have somebody from OG
Or
who
Skitter.
definitely not quite the same length of the story when it comes
Yuragi
to,
or Skitter.
to
Yuragi
Snakings, but
farmingnya lebih
Misha,
hebat sih.
I mean, he went through 12 different
Dan gini
teams
aja.
before he finally ended up on that OG roster, you know, as a coach and
Woi,
now he's
woi,
there as a
woi,
player
woi.
and stuff. Like, he took
Mas
a
double
while.
click
He was like
anjing.
grinding through. You go through his history, it's like 2 months here, 2 months there. You know, like he was just grinding through the Eastern European scene, and he finally has found a home. And look at the success he's gotten. I mean, he was obviously going through that many teams that quickly, he obviously was not complacent, right? He was obviously just searching for the team that could win him TI. And, well, he's found a place here, and they've already had a great amount of success this season. It would be a damn shame to head to the lower bracket now, but let's get into it. Pause is done, and we are into it. OG versus Tundra, Game 1.
Look at the early itemization here. 33 going for that Blight Orb. An aggressive build on this Visage. Sometimes we see the early Blade or just early stats for extra last hitting, but it tells me Tundra wants to fight on this. Trying to abuse the squishy support if it's Oracle or Maiden up there early and just trade for the kills. We'll see if it pays off. Soxa doing some early ward checking of the win lace up already.
It's crazy how many small items he has queued up in his quick buy. Like, just, you know, there's a Mango, there's a Clarity, there's a Tango. Like, they're ready for this lane. I think something that Tundra does in lanes that very few other teams do is in their off lane, they won't just like, where they're pulling waves or not pulling waves. Like, they'll do it randomly in the middle of the lane. Oh, it's 2.5 minutes to pull a wave here for this specific reason. And people aren't used to reacting to that type of thing because they do it in like very specific situations. So suddenly the other team does the wrong thing with the wave, and the wave's by Tundra's tower, and now like, you're like, oh, we can't lane anymore. I think these types of little sneaky things, like they're super aware of.
I mean, this Tundra off lane is one of the ultimate lane
they're really
disruption teams. You don't know where the waves are. There's a wave by your tier 3, there's another one by their tier 2. You're like, am I even in the lane anymore? Or is the lane in the Roshan pit? It's just so annoying to play against. It makes everything you think about what's happening in the lane get thrown off.
Yeah, and you can also, you know, potentially a team like OG, a younger team, this is their first time at TI for a lot of them. Suddenly you're out of your comfort zone. There's, you know, you're laning in the river, and you know things can be a little bit. You know, maybe that throws them off when they're from another team.
You know, normally I would agree, Quinn, but if I've learned anything about OG this year, their comfort zone is quite literally the entire world. You know, nothing happens. In fact, I think the more you throw this team off, the more they get in zone. Like, you think you're tilting Amar, and he's buybacking early. Now he just goes 20 and 0, right? How many times have we seen this?
Many times. We talked about that quite a bit, the question of whether or not you should shut down Amar, because it just seems like if you do shut him down, he comes back with a vengeance. We're currently watching the matchup of 9 versus BZM. We see the top lane of Yuragi and Misha in that board fling lane. We said the lanes are super important here to keep Tundra from being able to snowball. So what are the things we're looking for when it comes to these side lanes in particular?
I mean, the lane equilibrium already disrupted top for Tundra. It's a great sign for them. They just want this lane back so the Visage plus melee hero can go to work, especially if they get level 2 and level 3 fast. This Misha Maiden already got nuked down really hard. And this is kind of a bad sign. You don't want this lane shoved out so fast for Crystal Maiden. She kind of wants to wear you down over the course of that shove out and get the kill at the end. And that bottom lane, it's a similar story. OG wants this lane back for the Sand King so he can farm. Tundra wants to keep it up so Snake King can play the lane with the right click. Equilibrium super important for these two side lanes early on.
You said it, Quinn. It looks like Tundra have already identified we're going to abuse this Crystal Maiden lane. We're going to try and go for those kills. I mean, they're going for it without a nuke on Soxa. They were just throwing the tree at him and hoping to get through.
Kumat.
You have the Blight Orb on top of these tree hits. Very scary lane for this Crystal Maiden, and you do not want to feed the first blood to this Visage. It is the one way you're going to power up as early as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the CS bottom lane as well, and the HP levels. This lane, since they opted to put the bottom 5, you don't have as much kill threat in this lane. A bottom Slark is very much chipping you down, abusing right clicks, abusing like individual skill in the CS. And I can definitely see a world where if Tundra plays this well, he can come up to the wave and essentially like
that was a lot of damage. Picks up the first blood.
Wow,
that was a crucial mistake from Skitter, staying up a little bit too long while Snaking's getting the pull off, feeds that kill away. Now suddenly Amar, 700 gold, he's getting plenty HP, plenty of regen. Totally changes the trajectory of this lane.
That's huge for them. This is if OG can pick a hero to have a good early lane, it's probably the same thing, because normally this hero gets abused. So if he's getting accelerated, it's even better for them. I mean, now with that lane getting pushed deep, right? You get the caustics, you get that burrow. Equilibrium, winning OG one of these side lanes at least.
Quinn, talk to me about this mid matchup, because you're a bit of an expert. I mean, you also have a enemy mid that you play up against quite a bit in Gunner. Mid Tusk all the time. Yeah, we're gonna watch Taiga actually. Looks like he's gonna be chased down here. Snake King.
Lol. Gede banget anjir Mirana damage-nya.
It was the cause cosmetic pay to win right there.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이
But yeah, talk
공격받고
to me about
있습니다.
Tusk versus Ember.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that 9 picked Tusk into Ember. I think for a lot of people, they'd be pretty happy playing Ember into the Tusk because he just can't kill you ever, and Tusk is a hero that thrives off of early kills, early momentum. So it's kind of interesting that 9 picked that. I mean, 9 is a player with a very specific hero pool. I think both sides will farm early, but it's one of these lanes where the Tusk needs to get stuff done other places because at some point you're going to start getting slighted infinitely, and you don't have a way to deal with that regen, right? You can't really punish the Ember back. He's going to sit there and keep pressing this stupid button on you and lose all your HP. And so Tusk is sort of on a timer in that regard. Like, you see the CS is very even, but you can already see the slight starting to add up. Once level 5 comes around, level 7, it sort of becomes
레디언트의
uninhabitable for Tusk.
구조물이
I mean, you think he's
강화되었습니다.
just going to rotate super early this game, or do you just take it and get what you can? I mean, obviously the Tusk game plan is they probably don't care about this lane too much, right? Whenever you pick mid Tusk, lanes, whatever, it's about getting into the mid game where he's going to one-shot the back line. But do you try and force these early rotations to make up for this lane being a bad matchup?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that depends on how this top lane goes. I think that's where you're really happy to have a player like Netta in the offlane because your offlane is doing pretty well right now. You could look at the CS offlane very, very low, not doing the greatest in CS chart. Because if Morphling's having a good lane, it's pretty hard for this Tusk to go top right now. Morphling, he's getting a little bit low. Maybe Vintage gets his 6 fast,
Jangan
maybe suddenly Tusk, comes up here and tears the game open.
Dapet lah, masa nggak dapet?
Another burrow strike fight.
Tembak,
하부 포탑이
tembak,
공격받고
tembak.
있습니다.
Nice. Pusin. Punya masih lama itu. Brakek kok. Dihalangi temennya.
레디언트의
Wih, Nine, apa kabar kamu? Nice.
레디언트의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Satu. Yang tadi nggak dihitung ya.
다이어의
Assist tuh nggak
중부
dihitung ya.
포탑이
You also get
공격받고
the permanent
있습니다.
essence shift agility on Slark because he got blasted. So
Alright.
Skeeter's gonna be happy about that one.
Yeah, I mean, also some time where the Sork gets to sit in the lane for free. The faster you get to the 6, the scarier it is for Sand King, who's now suddenly the Sandstorm chip damage. Like, Sork doesn't care. He'll run into it, he'll hit you a bunch, he'll take a bunch of that damage, and he'll reset. And suddenly, on Sand King, you don't have a way to regenerate that HP. The lane can start to get a bit dicey. Maybe Tusk comes there and ganks you and kills you, and you have to, it can get very hairy very quickly.
So maybe the most important thing was the experience that you got out of those kills.
I think it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
That's definitely huge. I mean, it's also
No, no.
Marana doesn't want to sit down here and leech his
Aggressive.
XP forever, right? At some point, she wants to go roam, play around the Tusk, play around the Visage, who's having a very
레디언트의
good
하부
early game.
포탑이
Let the Slark
공격받고
get the solo
있습니다.
XP, push him over to level 6 faster. He will abuse the Sand King on his own. This game is going to come down to these room fights, 6 and 8. 6-1's coming up right now. Sox on top, snaking to the bottom. Want to deny this Ember the rune. They will.
Myunghwa.
Invis for the tiny.
Invis.
He's gonna sneak away into the night, pick up the
atas.
bounty rune while he's there as well.
아시겠다.
And
상금은
Kawan
내
ya.
거야.
whether or not, do they have vision of the Invis rune? Is it possible that he sneaks up on the Morphling here?
Might sneak up on
Ini
his
bakal
curve.
ngambilin doang, trip wave doang.
Yeah, that's
다이어의
actually what's
중심을
Lightning
죽었습니다.
lupa
by
ya.
Courier.
Mildly annoying. I mean, despite the CS and, maybe the Morphling's HP levels, his net worth is, pretty on par with Visage. The scary thing about this lane, though, is that it only gets worse for Morphling. Once you get to 6, suddenly the dynamic changes, and Visage just keeps on you. You're morphing down, your armor's
다이어의
going lower,
구조물이
he keeps on you,
강화되었습니다.
your armor's going lower, and you can sort of get, kicked out of this lane, potentially dived at super high HP.
I think 33 is an amazing lane stage this game.
Yeah.
Like, this is a hero that can get super abused. That's ideally what you want, but he's already just to level 6, 0 deaths. Higher CS than the Morph. I mean, I don't think Yuragi sat on this lane, but if you're 33, you're super happy. Because again, you are the core of these Tundra lineups. You want to get that Raid Pact and the auras online. The faster you do, the faster you're enabling everybody else in the type of game Tundra wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, you also know as this Visage, pretty soon there's a Walrus coming your way, and see how much they try to react to this when it happens.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Z9 just make that move with the Visage 6. Like, help him kick him out. They
Buset,
feel like they
Morphling
need help to kick him
rendah
out.
banget sih
Because again,
networknya.
like you said, I don't think he wants to just keep sitting.
Bisa main Morphling gak
Yeah,
sih?
you can see him swarming and draw you.
Bear.
They're trying it up, but the burst damage is actually not even close, thanks to, in part, the raindrop that he had. So, Yuragi will go full agility, try and get back some HP where he can. 8-minute rune is coming up. Umar is actually in the neighborhood. Maybe OG is going to put some serious
Anjay.
effort here. 9 is going to be chased
Wah,
down
yang
with 2
bagus.
supports, BZM. A little bit of catch up and get a slice.
Brebet.
He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it with the remnants. And a little bit more.
Toeng. Stun
Nice
satu
shot
abad.
from Snake King. Beautiful play by him. Snake King, long-time Marana player. I mean, going all the way back to bottom. He's been playing playing this hero for quite some time. It's a little bit new on the 5 position, but he has some history for sure.
I mean, if you're gonna play 5 Mirana, you better hit your damn arrows, son. That's all I know. If you miss those, your impact goes down incredibly. But definitely bailed out his tusk there. Huge play. We'll waste some Ember's time as well. Another arrow.
다이어의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
That I've seen.
Already good start.
Probably missed 5 early, but
Mantap.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Tapi nggak dapet kill ya.
Going to be targeting here at the Tusk because we know he's going to rotate around. Choosing to shut down Amar a little bit. Do you think that's a player preference or about the hero?
I think it might even be just based on the situation and Neta making the call. If you look at top lane, like, it doesn't really look like he needs the gank here. The Morphling's already left the lane. Neta doing some wave dragging shenanigans. As expected, the tower is taking damage. These creeps, no one's getting the XP here. You know, maybe he calls, yo, you don't need to come top Morphle all the left. Like, hit one by side, you know, and sure. Nine makes the smart play, gets the quick kill bottom. Now suddenly you've got pressure in all the lanes instead of just top.
Yeah, 4-1. Tundra up by 1,000 net worth early.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고
play for me
있습니다.
is going to be
Laranya kemana-mana.
OG's supports cannot drag their cores into the game, right? These are backline supports with heals and nukes. The side is once your cores come online,
Jago
these
juga.
supports come online as well. Sort of trying to get this blink on Amar. He's going to do some
Mengamankan engine, mengamankan engine. Jangan sampai diambil engine-nya. Anjay. Mana detectionnya mana bro? Detectionnya mana bro? Weh, the hell. Tak pakai kok bunda. Tuh. Ada detection. Lanjut terus. Woi. Bisa sekitaran gimana bro? Gak ada skill berarti. Nice. Fix it. Ini ngapain dia? Jam.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Kotak loh. Tas itu loh. Gak enakan gitu cuy. Skillnya lama banget cooldownnya.
You're absolutely screwed going in this mid game. Now they have a very good fighting chance to get the Sand King online. Push towards this Maelstrom on Ember, who again, who's having the best game in this game right now?
Bah.
BZM.
Wih.
Yeah, he is very far.
Weng. Stun 1 abad. Blair meninggal. Stun 3 abad itu mah.
공격받고 있습니다.
Ada familiar tuh.
다이어의 상부
Nice, bener kan? Dugaan gua.
I mean, such clutch play from Sand King, honestly.
10-5 lah.
They're not letting the Sand King, you know, sit in the trees to defend forever because Sand King immediately after has 2 sentries, sneaking one in the trees.
Hampir salah gua, hampir salah.
It's really painful. You're 800 from this blink. You already farmed your ancient stack. Like, where are you gonna get this gold from? There's no
다이어의
pressure from
하부
Tundra coming. Your
포탑이
mid tower is under attack
공격받고
soon.
있습니다.
Your heroes are under attack. We're
Ya,
trying.
gak ada stun.
The Sand King
Terbang.
can really contribute.
Have to weather the storm here. You have to do it through this Ember too. Like, OG needs to fight through this Ember Spear right now. Ideally, keep this mid tower alive as long as they can. There's going to be some move to collapse on it, likely coming out from Tundra here in the next 5 minutes or so.
And shutting down the Sand King holding
Gak bisa bro. Terlalu tebal.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고
You don't want
있습니다.
to let him sit up there and just delay the game. You want to have this Vicious be able to progress through the objectives he wants to do. Maybe a little triangle farm on the menu as well. And I mean, he is really far. This is going to be a fast rate back.
And that's probably why, once he gets that rate back, then we're trying to take down that mid tower, right?
I think there's some move that can come out either to the jungles. You can go triangle. You want to
Ambil haste-nya bro. Kotak.
So greedy. He really tried to hold it for 9, but ultimately Saksa did have to.
Baru 1.
Pretty clutch for Sox at a click
Baru
there at the end, and
satu.
not like, I don't like that was pretty clutch. I mean, I think what
I would have left different.
I appreciate
Rupanya
that.
tasnya gak pakai blink ya. Aduh, gue salah nih.
Let's keep that off broadcast. Thank you.
Power ruins, man.
I mean, I think what Neta's doing here is something that is pretty cute and like something Jangan's done in the past, but occasionally when these offlaners that can farm ancients, if you don't feel like you have the ability
Sambil KB dia.
for reason, maybe OG has too many heroes there, you rescind a little bit, you farm the ancients, you get your pot on this level 7, now suddenly you know, have this little bit stronger
다이어의
time, maybe a
하부
minute
포탑이
later. And
공격받고
I think that's
있습니다.
something that Tundra is more willing to do than a lot of other teams, who maybe lose a little bit of focus, maybe they force this game,
Dua paling ini mah,
waste
dua.
some time, now suddenly their economy gets hurt a lot, and OG, you know, starts to
Ya udah.
Radiant are
This is the
scanning.
Slark Diffusal. We're on a level 7.
Tuger. Nggak jadi. Ultinya. Mati lah, masa nggak mati? Nah. Mati lagi. Oh enggak. Mati lah itu. Udah cukup damage-nya.
다이어의 중국 포탑이 공격받고
Boost tower bang, boost tower bang.
Off guard, and that mid tower going down is really going to open up the map here. It's going to open up the Roche down the more as well. And they didn't get the fight. I think that's the fight that OG wanted more than anything, right? Like, you want to be able to take that fight with the Blink, with the Maelstrom around that tier 1 that can protect your supports. Instead, you just get collapsed on. Now, where's your next opportunity to fight? Now you got to kind of play the map, make an aggressive move of your own. This is a nice move. It connects. Sucks in.
Matilah.
What is OG gonna do with that? Support pickoff doesn't necessarily mean you can put pressure on the mid tower or anything.
No, they wanted Slark or Tusk out of that.
Yeah. Very cute.
That is a very Tusk thing.
First the punch, then the high five.
I can't kill you, but I'm gonna sit here and annoy you. I'm gonna cast my spells. You're gonna be mildly irritated.
레디언트의 중국 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
The map being small like this, OG's heroes, they can only really kill you out of support.
나중에 필요할 거야.
Yeah, a bit rushed from Tundra. To be honest, I'm surprised they're not pushing things a little bit more. This like having the
레디언트의
diffusal
하부
blade.
포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Ooh, good sentry laid out, spotted Skeeter.
He knows.
He actually thought maybe there was a ward or something to be able to deal with the sentry in time.
Master tier Slark carrying his own sentries. That's how you know someone's a Slark player.
I mean, nowadays, Slarks are incentivized to do it. Find those wards, they're worth so much.
Was it his sentry though, or did someone else buy it for him? Because there's a difference.
No,
There
surely
is a
he bought
difference.
it because he wants the bounty for it.
He bought it. Oh no, he planted it. I can't see. Eugene.
For a bar again.
Ooh, sneaking in from behind. Afterwards, throw strike in a second, but he can't get it off in time. That bounce just
다이어의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
This is a free tower push.
Yeah, pretty cool adaptation from Tundra.
다이어의
Without,
하부 포탑이
Snaking staying up there in the top lane, sort
파괴되었습니다.
of keeping it pushed in after 9 died up there, and they say, okay, that's fine. Snake, you can stay there. We're gonna go across the map with the rest of the heroes. We're not afraid. You know, cores on the bomb. We're gonna connect them. We're gonna fight with them. We don't need our supports to be in every move. So Snake's just sort of chilling up there, and the cores go down and take this tower. They pressure the Sand King, and then suddenly maybe your main woods are
다이어의
under threat, or you
하부
have to waste a
포탑이
glyph on this tier 2
공격받고
bottom, and
있습니다.
then you have the next tier
다이어의
2.
구조물이
Yeah, there's the glyph.
강화되었습니다.
That's a unique aspect of Mirana's right combinations like those good waves or something, because you can be up there and probably won't die because of his mobility. Well, Saksa, well,
레디언트의
the same kind
중국
of options,
포탑이
and once again will
공격받고
be victim
있습니다.
of OG's aggression. They're immediately going to smoke up afterwards here, but it was underneath the high
Dire
ground
are
ward.
scanning.
Yeah, he's gonna break it.
다이어의
Good
상부
job there.
포탑이
Break a
공격받고
bit of the
있습니다.
smoke. OG,
레디언트의 중국 포탑이 공격받고
they're still going to
있습니다.
go for that mid tower regardless.
It's low.
They
There's a
see
glyph
them.
here.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 레디언트의 진동이 죽었습니다. 레디언트의 중국 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
OG cannot clean it up. I'm not sure they were going to be close with that Wraith Pack down and put already on this Visage, but absolute
다이어의
disaster.
하부
Easy
포탑이
ammo. Just getting his
공격받고
mana burned on
있습니다.
the jump too. You just remnant straight into birds and Skeeter sitting there like, oh, you did the pound for me, son. Just drains all his mana, gets the stacks up. Tundra cannot ask for a better fight. Now, I was about to say this game has felt very reactionary from OG in terms of being very patient, waiting for the fights, the right
Radiant
ones they want
are
to take.
scanning.
The aggressive smoking, I think are just hard for them this game.
Yeah, I mean, you can see very good positioning from Tundra in this fight. It's rare you see a full duration CM ult.
레디언트의 영웅에게
It's a CM ult,
죽었습니다.
and they said, fine, do it. And they walked away and they fought on the other outer ridge. And you see, CM, she doesn't really do that much in this fight. There's not much she can do. Tundra, really, really nice positioning in this fight. Crazy toss back.
Yeah, that was beautiful, landing that combination on 3 different
레디언트의 하부
heroes.
포탑이
Like,
공격받고
that
있습니다.
was like the last nail in the coffin right there. OG, I mean, this just, you're talking about how they really set the tempo of this game, but it just feels like they are very uncomfortable. This does. I wouldn't imagine like if you took away the logos and everything. I just wouldn't think. This is so
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고
but
있습니다.
sorry,
Go ahead.
I mean, thank you. I think that smoke just felt very pressured. Like
우리
you see the
숨겨라.
Ember remnants in there. Like it's very losing. We need to make something happen. I need to catch up.
다이어의 3부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
She does manage to get the slight jump away just in time. The pounds faded. But trying to help out
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 3부 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
top tower as well. Things are getting very dark indeed for OG in this game.
사양하지 않는다.
레디언트의 하부
The one thing about
포탑이
OG is this team is
파괴되었습니다.
very good at stalling games. Understand that they are a very strong late game team. Between the three cores synergizing in the late game fights with the network they can bring out. I've seen them take fights from 20k down like it was nothing.
다이어의
The
중부
thing they have to keep in
포탑이
mind is you're
공격받고
playing against a
있습니다.
Slark Piranha lineup. So one, you have this moonlight that can move people around
레디언트의
very
하부
fast, set up
포탑이
a lot easier.
공격받고
You
있습니다.
cannot sentry everywhere on the map, especially these deep side lanes you want to split push. And then Slark is going to run out and kill all your vision. Just makes it even harder on top of that as well. So while I think OG has the heroes to split push this game out and take a later game fight with the Ember timing, I think there's also a lot of tools on Tundra's side to shut that down, just destroy the vision, and we're already seeing it. Like, you just got up some deep, dire wards, but Skeeter's running through here, and he's pinged, and he's literally just pinging, hey guys, check around the area, gets freebies.
Yeah, I mean, they get these wards, but I think OG not that unhappy with the way the map is being split right now. You see them run all the way to the bottom, Tundra reacts, and OG's already up in top lane buying some time. Like, you know, the gold lead, since they got the 80, it's not really changed very much.
Wow,
I guess.
sampai tower 2.
공격받고 있습니다.
The Mortling already dead. Knows all your damage. But they're just way too big.
Where's your damage going to come from?
Kenapa ya? Kenapa
다이어의
gitu?
중부 포탑이
Apakah Yuraginya terlalu cepat di take down supaya sehingga mereka tuh nggak bisa
다이어의 중부 포탑이
farming dengan nyaman
공격받고
gitu?
있습니다.
Aegis on the Slark.
Karena Morphling harusnya dari awal damage-nya udah gede cuy.
Trying to take these fights.
Tinggal supportnya aja ini.
Even if 99% of your theory goes right, I think you have to split push this map. Maybe if you
Amar ke BKB karena dia selalu kena fixes. Bake kok bunda. Enggak ding. Nggak ketemu anjir. Udah Rosan. Mati lagi nih Trip. Mantap.
Yeah, I mean, this comes back to
Mirana bukan sekadar Mirana.
OG's hero, OG's damage very, very similar, and suddenly this Wraith Tide comes out. You're looking at the heroes and like, wow, we can't kill anyone. And when you're in that state where you're just
Cesenghua.
sliding around the map, it's
Kayak gitu.
all on the other team to mess up because they have all the power in the world. They
Di
can
mereka
kill
nggak ada
you,
ini ya?
and
Oh,
you can't kill them,
botol
and
tadi
so
ada
they're
cuy.
squeezing you in, you're getting squeezed,
Cuman
and
masalahnya
suddenly you have no net worth, and they just
timingnya
throw on you.
jauh.
I agree.
Jadi nggak diambil pakai botol.
Tundra's control.
Cesenghua.
다이어의 하부 포탑이
Bentar.
파괴되었습니다.
Buset cuy setengah darah dipanah. Pantes aja gue bakal recall meninggal mulu anjing. Kali pick off meninggal.
They cannot 5-on-5. So as soon as Tundra shows up in force,
다이어의 중부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Aman. Kalau udah Yuragi juga salah nih. Dagger salah yang Yuragi
다이어의 중부
salah.
포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 다이어 중부 병력이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어 중부
Dua.
병력이
Satu
파괴되었습니다.
lagi lah siapa kayak di Dagger
중부 병력이
anjir.
Farm a
파괴되었습니다.
little more gold, wait for the right jump, but I mean, there's the drum, the force staff, the wraith
Masih
pack,
bisa
like,
grow
they've got
lagi
all the
nih.
Tundra items, and
Baru nge
they're running it down your throat.
Ada yang nge-Q Dagger enggak? Wah ada cuy. Ayo Nine beli Dagger Nine anjir.
to land. Tipstar coming.
Nice. Gitu. Tebakan gua bener.
Fun in this same king
Karena dia mid laner, habis BKB langsung dagger nggak masalah cuy, cepet banget ya. Wah gila, emang gua predik top global ini. Sekitar masih farming aja. Dia ada punch 2 kali, ngejar BKB. Supaya nggak disable banyak banget anjir, hampir semua bisa disable. Nah ini bikin item-item support, Pisces bikin siras, mati, blar, ayo lo, udah mati. Balik aja oke anjir, balik. Ngapain ikut dia ya? Wah, pakai kok bunda. Gak kerasa anjir epicennya.
다이어의 상부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
GG ya. ATF udah ngamuk-ngamuk kan. Wah, 3 bener lah, oke lah ya. 792 ini terakhir, ini tas anjir yang ngejeber. 791 hanya tas yang bisa nge-nuke pakai fisikal anjir. GG lah Tundra, masih lumayan GG. Cuman Tundra tuh hitungannya masih menengah cuy. Jago kagak, tapi cupu juga enggak gitu. Ini gue bilang masih kalah sih sama Egim tuh, masih kalah. Jago tapi nggak banget banget. Set roster. Dua besok lah. Kita lihat dulu bracketnya gimana. Liquid masih main ya? Ya nggak sih? Oh nggak ding. Liquid nanti jam 12 kok nggak bisa. Paling boom lawan PSG nih. Lower bracketer kita nonton bareng lagi lah. Sore. Genius, Biscos. Tim Master, tim Liquid. Ini seru nih. Upper bracket. Ini ya so lah. Udah lah, kita dulu. Di sore kita nonton lagi guys ya. Thank you. Nonton. Kuning, Bro.